Good evening. Welcome to Rise IAS Raja Aula. Today, our discussion is Imperial Kakatiyas. In the political history of the Kakatiyas, we discussed in the last class subordinate Kakatiyas. Now we will discuss with Imperial Kakatiyas. So Kakatiya rule it started from 1000 to 1323. During this period, between the 1000 to 1323, nearly 323 years, 10 Kakatiya rulers were ruled. This rule, Kakatiya rule, can be divided into two parts. Subordinate Kakatiyas, they ruled from 1000 to 1157. Then after that, sovereign Kakatiyas, they ruled from 1163 to 1323. In the previous video, I discussed subordinate Kakatiyas, those who worked under the Kalyani Chalukyas. After the decline of the Kalyani Chalukya kingdom, sovereign Kakatiya rulers, that is Rudradeva, he declared independence from the from the Western Chalukya kingdom. Now, coming to the point of the first ruler, Rudradeva, he ruled from 1157 to 1195. Before Rudradeva came to the throne in 1135, during the Battle of Vengi, Gonkeya, the Velanati Chalukya ruler Gonkeya, he completely defeated Western Chalukya kingdom. So slowly Western Chalukya kingdom started to decline. Western Chalukyas, they never thought to come into the Andhra Desha. So during that, after 1135, whenever Western Chalukyas, they stopped to come into the Andhra Desha or Andhra kingdom, that is to the Telangana, Rudradeva slowly he started and he declared independence. According to the thousand pillar inscription 1163, he declared independence. Since from the 1163 he was a imperial ruler of the Kakatiyas. And Rudradeva, he was famous among the imperial Kakatiyas. At the time of the ascendancy of Rudradeva, there occurred anarchy in the Western Chalukya kingdom. That anarchy was created by the Tailapattu. Originally, Jannigadeva too was the ruler of the Western Chalukya kingdom, that is Kalyani Chalukya kingdom. Jannigadeva too was dethroned by Tailapattu, but he was incompetent. Not Tailapattu, Tailapat III, he was not strong ruler. He was incompetent and weak ruler. Because of this weakness, the neighboring kingdoms started to revolt against the Kalyani Chalukyas and other bigger kingdoms. Feudatories, they started revolt. Like during this period, coming to the point of the Kalachuri Bijula. Kalachuri Bijala, he declared independence and he became very strong. And he wanted to suppress the Western Chalukyas even. But during this war period, Western Chalukyas and Kalachuri kingdom period, there is no any evidence Kakatiyas they fought or they supported to the Bijula, even though Kakatiyas declared independence and Kakatiyas came out from the Kalyani Chalukya kingdom, but they did not supported Bijula. Lakshmiswara inscription, which belongs to the 1163 of Bijala Deva, it says that he fought with Kakatiyas. So 1163 Lakshmiswara inscription, it says that there occurred war between the Kakatiyas and Bijala, Kalachuri Bijala. So during this period, Tailapa, the Western Chalukya king Tailapa died. After the death of the Tailapa, the feudatories of the Kalyani Chalukyas, and feudatories of the Kakatiyas, they raised their hand, they revolted, they tried to revolt. So it was at this moment, Rudradeva, he explored his political thought, political view to expand the kingdom, to expand the Kakatiya kingdom. He wanted to expand the Kakatiya kingdom. During this anarchy, there occurred anarchy in the Western Chalukya kingdom, and also anarchy occurred in the Andhra Desha. So as we know that Hanumakonda inscription, 1,000 pillar inscription of Hanumakonda, it speaks about Rudradeva's victories and achievements. Originally, that Hanumakonda inscription was written by Achitendra. Achitendra, he wrote that inscription. So according to this, Rudradeva defeated Dommarazu, Medarazu, Malingadeva, and Udaya Choda Bhima. These four rulers were defeated by the Rudradeva. Coming to that details, so at the time of the Rudradeva's ascendancy to the throne, he scored many victories. Dommarazu, he was coming to the point of the first ruler of that Dommarazu. Dommarazu, he was ruler of the Nagunuru. Nagunuru, that is there in the Karimnagar district. And Medarazu, next ruler, Medarazu, he was king of Polavasa. And also he was the elder brother of the Gundarazu, who was killed by the earlier Porolatu. Porolatu killed Gundarazu, the ruler of Polavalasa. His elder brother, he was Medarazu. And Malingadeva, another ruler, Malingadeva. Malingadeva, he was son of the Kalasuri king Bijjala. So, under the influence of the Bijjala, all these rulers, they combinedly started struggle against the Rudradeva. So, they wanted to give some troubles to the Rudradeva because Rudradeva was slowly becoming strong. So, under the influence of the Bijjala, Malingadeva, Dommarazu, Medarazu, all these were giant hands and waged war against Kakatiya kingdom. By this time, Rudradeva was the ruler. So Rudradeva defeated all group, and the group also scattered finally. He also invaded Kalachuri kingdom. He defeated Dommarazu, Medarazu, and also Udayachoda. Then also he moved towards the Kalachuri kingdom. Rudradeva wanted to marry the daughter of Medarazu. Medarazu, he was king of the Polavalasa. Polavalasa king Medarazu, he did not accept to give his daughter to the Rudradeva. Instead of giving his daughter to the Rudradeva, Medarazu, he submitted some parts of his kingdom and he became feudal. But he did not give his daughter to the Rudradeva. This shows that Kakatiyas were not recognized as a Kshatriyas. Some inscriptions they say that Kakatiyas were the Sudra kingdoms. They belong to the Sudra origin. And after this, Rudradeva, he tried to expand the kingdom to maintain matrimonial relations. He wanted to maintain matrimonial relations. Through the matrimonial relations, he wanted to expand his kingdom. But this time, Medarazu did not accept it. Next, second invasion on the Koduru Cholas. Koduru Cholas Choda Bhima. Choda Bhima, Udaya Choda Bhima. He was the ruler of the Koduru and he was cruel. He also joined with Udaya Choda. So around 1160-1162, Rudradeva invaded Vardhamanapuram. Whenever he invaded Vardhamanapuram, he defeated Bhima Choda and also destroyed Panagallu. Panagallu was the capital of this Bhima Choda. He defeated Bhima Choda and he destructed the city Panagallu. That was the capital of the Udaya Chola. That was the capital of the Udaya Chola. And Udaya Chola gave his daughter Padmavati to the Rudradeva. Rudradeva married the daughter of Udaya Chola. She was Padmavati. After all these victories, most part of the Telangana fell under the control of the Kakatiyas. Immediately after this, Rudradeva declared independence and constructed 1,000-pillar temple. So he also, after the getting marriage of the Padmavati, for that incident, for the memory of that incident, getting marriage of the Padmavati, Rudradeva, he constructed Rudra Samudra Tatakam. Rudra Samudra Tatakam. But later period, it is called as Udaya Samudram. Udaya Tatakam or Udaya Samudram, and the local ruler name Udaya Choda name, on the name of the Udaya Choda, it was called as Udaya Samudram. Next, after this, Rudradeva, he moved towards the coastal Andhra. Then he diverted his attention towards the coastal Andhra. Coming to the point of the coastal Andhra, up to the Draksharamam and Tripurantakam, he started his military expeditions up to the Draksharamam and Tripurantakam. In 1182, there occurred Battle of Palanadu. This is a major battle in the Andhra or coastal Andhra. Either directly or indirectly, most of the Andhra rulers were involved in the Battle of Palanadu. This was explained in Palanati Veera Charitra by Srinatha. Srinatha, he mentioned about the Battle of Palanadu, and also he mentioned about Rudradeva help to the Nalagama Raju. This battle of Palanadu occurred between Malideva Raju and Nalagama Raju. These were the stepbrothers. In this battlefield, Malideva Raju was supported by the Palanadu Brahmanayudu. Palanadu Brahmanayudu, he was a social reformer. Palanadi Brahmanayudu, he introduced Chapakudu, that is common dinner, without discrimination. Everybody should sit at one place and having the dinner, that is a common dinner called as Chapakudu. So Palanadu Brahmanayudu, he wanted to eliminate casteism in the Palanadu. This was not accepted by the Nalagama Raju. And Nalagama Raju, he was supported by Nagamma. She was a Reddy lady. And she was the Prime Minister of the Chief Advisor and Prime Minister of Nalagama Raju. This battle, originally this conflict started with a cockfight. Later it became human fight. Initially it started with a cockfight. Later it became human fight. In this battlefield, Rudradeva supported Nalagama Raju. Finally, Nalagama Raju scored victory. After this battle of Palanadu, Rudradeva defeated Kota Dodda Bhima of Dharanikota. And occupied during this war, occupied the Dharanikota. During this war, his army general was Kota Senani. Kota Senani was his army general. His army general Kota Senani, he played vital role for this victory to occupy Dharanikota. That's why Kota Senani, he was called as a Kota Gelpata. The title of the Kota Senani was Kota Gelpata. So after this, Rudradeva, he also occupied Srisailam, Tripurantakam. He extended his kingdom up to the Srisailam, Tripurantakam. In 1185, Rudradeva issued Tripurantakam inscription. It says that his victory over the Tripurantakam and Srisailam. Next, according to the Krivika inscription, this inscription says that Rudradeva expelled Mudigunda Chalukyas from the Koravi region. So Koravi was captured by the Rudradeva. Next, Draksharamam inscription says that Chalukyas of Pitapuram, they maintained friendly relations with Rudradeva. So this news, this information, we are knowing from the Draksharamam inscription. So Draksharamam inscription says that Chalukyas of Pitapuram maintained friendly relations with Rudradeva. So after these victories, Telangana and coastal Andhra, all these completely fell under the control of the Kakatiyas. So that side, what is that eastern side and southern side, he completely defeated all the kingdoms. He extended his kingdom up to the Tripurantakam, Draksharamam, all these areas. Next, according to the Chaturvargasara, it was written by Chaturvargasara, it was written by Hemadri. Hemadri, he was court poet of Jaitugi or Jaitrapala, Yadava king. According to this book, there occurred war between the Jaitrapala and Rudradeva. Finally, Rudradeva was defeated in the hands of the Jaitrapala and he was captured and beheaded in the hands of Jaitugi. That is human sacrifice, Narameda. In this book, Chaturvargasara, Hemadri, he mentioned Narameda, that is human sacrifice. So after the death of Rudradeva, his brother Mahadeva continued the war. Mahadeva ascended the throne because he has no sons. Rudradeva has no sons. That's why Mahadeva continued the throne and Mahadeva continued even war with the Yadavas. Immediately after the ascendancy of the throne, Mahadeva, he declared war against the Jaitrapala. This information also, this was another source to know about the war between Jaitrapala and Rudradeva. So finally, 1195, Rudradeva died in the hands of the Jaitrapala, the Yadava king. Rudradeva, he played vital role for the bringing of bright future to the Andhra Desha politically and culturally. Politically and culturally, Rudradeva, he laid a bright future to the Andhra Desha, Andhra Pradesh. He made Warangal as a unpenetrable fort. No one can penetrate into the fort of the Warangal. Like that he constructed Warangal. But during his period, he could not able to complete the Warangal fort. Partially he completed the Warangal fort and partially he shifted capital to the Warangal fort. So during his period in 1195, Bekkavolu inscription says that Warangal was the capital of the Rudradeva. So based on this Bekkavolu inscription, we are knowing that he ruled from the Warangal, that is Orugallu. Next, during the period of the Rudradeva, there occurred Jaina Saiva conflict. In this Jaina Saiva conflict, Saivism got victory over the Jainism. That is, Jainism lost and Jainism got damaged in Andhra. Because of this, Upamanya Muni, a Jain saint, a Jain saint, he provoked Mahadeva, the brother of Rudradeva, Mahadeva, provoked to revolt against his brother. But finally that revolt was successfully suppressed by Rudradeva. So this was knowing from local folk stories of the Kakatiyas. During the Kakatiya's period, there were some local stories. According to that local stories, Upamanya Muni, a Jain saint, he provoked Mahadeva to revolt against his brother Rudradeva. But finally, that revolt was suppressed by the Rudradeva. Next, this was knowing from the local stories. Another important thing, Mallikarjuna Panditaradhya, who was propagated Saivism, he was contemporary to the Rudradeva. Mallikarjuna Panditaradhya, he was considered as one of the Saivatrayas, Sivatrayas. Mallikarjuna Panditaradhya, Nachana Somana, Palkuriki Somanada. These three were considered as Saivatrayas. He was contemporary to the Rudradeva, Mallikarjuna Panditaradhya. Next to, well, another famous personality during the time of the Rudradeva, even though all the Kakatiya rulers followed, that means Rudradeva, he followed Saivism, but his minister Vellanki Gangadhara, he was belonged to the Smartha Brahmin family. He was a Vaishnavite. He appointed, Vellanki Gangadhara was appointed as a minister, and also he was appointed as a governor of the Sibbi Mandala by Rudradeva. Sibbi Mandala means Karimnagar. Vellanki Gangadhara became governor of the Karimnagar, head of the Karimnagar. Being a Vaishnava saint, Vaishnava Brahman, Vellanki Gangadhara, he constructed Prasanna Kesavalayam in Varangal. Prasanna Kesavalayam constructed in the Varangal. Next, Rudradeva was the first ruler who united Telangana and coastal Andhra. This was happened first time in the history of Andhra Pradesh. Rudradeva, he constructed Rudreswaralayam. It is also called as a 1,000-pillar temple at Hanamakonda. This 1,000-pillar temple constructed in the new method, that is Trikutalaya. Rudreswaralayam was dedicated to the three gods, Lord Sun, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. So instead of the one Garbhagudi or instead of the one sanctum sanctorium, here constructed three sanctum sanctoriums, and also three gods were worshipped here at one place. That is Trikutalaya. So he was great pattern of letters. According to the Pillalamari inscription, Rudradeva was a great pattern of letters. And he himself poet. He wrote Nitisara in Sanskrit. It was a book on the political science. According to this book, he strictly says that even to the, to future rulers, taxes should be levied on the people very less. And the taxes should not be burden on the people. They should be payable. According to the Nitisara. And he was also called as Vinaya Bhushana, Vidya Bhushana, two titles he has, because he was well versed in the different languages like Sanskrit. According to the Pillalamari inscription, he was a great poet. So finally, 1195, Rudradeva died in the hands of the Jaituki. After the death of the Rudradeva, his brother Mahadeva ascended the throne. Mahadeva ruled from 1195 to 1199, but some books it is only up to 1198. He ruled only for 3 years, very short period. Short rule of the Mahadeva, 3 years. He was a brother of the Rudradeva. Since Rudradeva has no children, his younger brother Mahadeva came to the throne. Mahadeva, he had 3 children. He had 3 children, one son and 2 daughters. The son name was Ganapati Deva. Because Rudradeva also not, Rudradeva, he did not have any issues, or Rudradeva, he did not he did not have any successor. Because of that, Rudradeva adopted Ganapati Deva, and Rudradeva adorned his kingdom to the Ganapati Deva. Ganapati Deva was originally the son of Mahadeva. He was adopted as a son of Rudradeva, adopted son of the Rudradeva. So Mailamba, daughter of Mahadeva, Mailamba, she married Vakkalika Rudra. And Kundamamba, another daughter of the Mahadeva, Kundamamba, she married Rudravan. Both Vakkalika Rudra and Rudravan, these two were belongs to the Kota Natavadi family. Both were the sons of the Kota Buddharazu. He was he belongs to the Natavadi family. Like Rudradeva, Mahadeva, he was also Saivite. Rudradeva's Saiva Guru, Mallikarjuna Pandita, but Mahadeva's Saiva Guru, Dhruveshwara Pandita. Dhruveshwara Pandita was the Saiva Guru of Mahadeva. Okay, coming to the point of the Mahadeva war with Jaitrapala. Originally, whenever he ascended the throne, immediately he declared war against the Jaitrapala, Yadava king Jaitrapala, because at the time of the war between the Rudradeva and Jaitrapala, Rudradeva was captured. Along with the Rudradeva, Ganapati Deva, the son of Mahadeva, was also captured. He was captive in the hands of the Yadava kings. Because of that, Mahadeva, he declared war. He fought against Yadavas. He fought with Yadavas. Finally, Mahadeva, he was killed in the battlefield. He was also killed in the hands of the Jaitugi. But Prataparudra's Kondavidu inscription, Prataparudra's Kandavalli inscription, not Kondavidu inscription, that is Kandavalli inscription. Kandavalli inscription of Prataparudra. Kandavalli inscription of Prataparudra, it says that Rudradeva, he himself submitted his kingdom to his brother Mahadeva. So this is somewhat controversial statement, because Mahadeva, after the death of Rudradeva, Mahadeva ascended the throne. So whatever it may be, finally Mahadeva was also killed in the hands of the Jaitugi or Jaitrapala in 1198. Mahadeva's wife was Bayambika. The wife name of the Mahadeva was Bayambika. Yeah, this is about the sovereign rulers of the Kakatiyas. In the sovereign rulers of the Kakatiyas, just we discussed only 2 rulers. And there are remaining 3 rulers, Ganapati Deva, Rudramadevi and Prataparudra. In next video, so we will continue with them. Okay, good luck.